Merry Christmas, friends! I hope Santa brought you everything you wanted. He brought me these beautiful mixing bowls that I can't wait to use today. And we're gonna start by making sourdough discard cinnamon rolls. So let's get started. All right, so first we're going to take 1.5 cups of all-purpose flour. I've gotten this 2 tablespoons of sugar, 1 tablespoon of baking powder, and 1/2 teaspoon of salt. So we're gonna go ahead and put that in there and give it a nice stir. I also got this cute dough whisk. Now we're going to add 6 tablespoons of butter cold, and we're gonna just crumble it up and mix it in until it makes nice little crumbles inside. Also preheat your oven to 400 degrees. It doesn't have to be perfect, but we just want to make sure that all of the butter is broken up and starting to clump into the flour. It all crumbled up, you're going to go ahead and take 1/3 cup of milk and then 1 full cup of the discard. You do not have to feed it beforehand, just right off the shelf or out of the fridge into the bowl. And then 1 teaspoon of vanilla. This is 1/2 teaspoon, so I'm going to do it twice. There we go. We're going to give that a nice stir. You want to knead it about 3 to 4 times once it's all incorporated, but you do not want to overwork it because that'll make your cinnamon rolls really dense and hard. So just nice and fluffy just till it starts to come together. So once we've got our dough all made up, we're going to go ahead and start on the filling. So you're going to take 1/4 cup of brown sugar, 1 tablespoon of ground cinnamon, and 2 tablespoons of softened butter. We're just going to give that a nice mix. And then we're going to take our dough, lay it out on a floured surface, and roll it into a rectangle, and then put this on top. All right, so we're going to roll it out into a big rectangle, roughly 10 by 14 inches, just so that we are able to get about 8 cinnamon rolls out of this. So once we have our dough rolled out, we're going to go ahead and take some more softened butter and just slather it all over the dough. And then we're going to put in our cinnamon mixture. If you want it a little bit sweeter, go ahead and add some more brown sugar. Go ahead and add on the cinnamon. We're just going to smear that all over. And once you're done with this can go into the fridge to make it easier to cut for about 10 minutes. If you're short on time, we can just go ahead and make the glaze and put them in the oven. So now we're going to start from the long side and roll. Just try to keep it as tight as you can. Now that you've got it all rolled up would be the time, if you want to put it in the fridge, go ahead and pop it in there. But we're going to go ahead and start on our glaze. Now let's start on our glaze. So you're going to take 1/2 cup of powdered sugar, 1 tablespoon of milk, and 1 teaspoon of vanilla. Again, this is a 1/2, so I'm doing 2. We're going to give that a quick stir. Please excuse my kids if you can hear them in the background. They got some new fighting toys. But if you see it's like this, if you want it a little bit thinner, go ahead and add some more milk. But we're going to let that sit while we go ahead and grab our cinnamon rolls out of the refrigerator and cut them into little cinnamon rolls. All right, so I've got my sprayed baking sheet. I'm going to go ahead and start cutting these out. I'm going to cut off the ends since these are just really, honestly, just dough. So we're going to try to make them as even as possible. We're going to go ahead and start putting them in here. So now these are going to go in the oven at 400 degrees for 20 to 25 minutes. Just keep an eye on them. And the centers should be set and not gooey whenever they're done. And while those finish cooking, Mrs. Claus needs a little bit of a drink. So I got some coffee, some Irish cream, and some peppermint schnapps, and we're gonna have a little festive cheer. Cheers. All right, so these just came out of the oven and they truly smell like you just walked into a bakery. Aren't they pretty? And they do puff up a little bit, so if you were worried about that when you were cutting them, don't be. We're gonna go ahead and pour our glaze over them, let them cool, and dig right in. If you like this recipe, please like, share, follow, YouTube, subscribe, so that we can share more recipes together. Merry Christmas. Have a great day.